The desert's cold breath slapped my skin as the taillights of my parents' car vanished into the dark ribbon of the highway. Sand shifted beneath my bare feet, one hand gripping my 6-year-old son's tiny shoulder. He huddled against me, eyes rimmed with terror. "They'll be back, right?" he whispered, voice trembling. I stared into the black horizon, words lodged in my throat. Their voices still cut through the night. "You're nothing but leeches. Crawl back where you came from." My father's shove had sent my duffel bag flying. My mother remained silent, her eyes cold embers in the rearview mirror. No water, no phone, no promise of rescue, just the endless desert. Each heartbeat pounded like a drum, echoing across the silent dunes. I drew Mason close, whispering promises I wasn't sure I could keep. Above us, the moon hung low and merciless. Night pressed in. "You're 25, and you've never felt more exposed." The heat rolled off the blacktop in waves, distorting the stars above. "Give it here," Dad barked, wrenching my purse from my grip as I fumbled with the straps. I'd come for a weekend visit, just 2 days to reset, or so I thought. Instead, their voices rose like thunder. "Always on your phone, always chasing drama." I tried to explain I needed the last of my child support money to fix Mason's worn-out sneakers, but my words drifted away, meaningless. Mason slept in the back seat, his head lolled against the window. He'd been dreaming of the carnival we'd promised. Now he stirred as Dad yelled, "We've had enough freeloaders." Mom's face was a mask of contempt, lips tight. The car dipped onto the gravel shoulder. No warning, the door snapped open. I stumbled out, knees cutting into the stones. Mason's small hand reached for mine. He woke up, blinking at the headlights. "Mommy," he whispered. His voice cracked like old plaster. I squeezed his hand, finding my voice just for him, but behind me, the car door slammed. It sped away, red lights disappearing down the ribbon of the highway. No phone, no water, no signal. Nothing but wind and the steady rhythm of tires on asphalt fading into black. I pulled Mason close, wrapping my sweater around his trembling shoulders. His feet throbbed in socks soaked with sweat. I rummaged through the duffel bag, a half-empty granola bar, my ballet flats 3 sizes too big, a single bottle of water. "We'll be okay," I lied, pressing the bar into his hand. He didn't argue. He sank to the gravel, tucking his legs beneath him. I sat beside him, arms around his shoulders, staring into the night. Each heartbeat sounded like a drum in my ears, counting down until dawn. They never approved of my choices. "You had one chance at life," Mom had spat when I'd announced my pregnancy at 19. "Now you're dragging that kid through your mistakes." I believed them then, years of their voices eroding my confidence until I saw myself through their eyes. But Mason, he was different. He was hopeful, the only promise I refused to break. We stayed awake all night. I counted constellations until sleep fled. My back ached from leaning against the cold duffel bag. At first light, the desert stretched endless in every direction. No cars passed, not a single soul. The horizon glowed pale. My chest tightened with panic. What if no one came? I pressed my forehead to Mason's crown and whispered a prayer I didn't feel. Then a rumble, faint, distant. I blinked, spotting the silhouette of a pickup truck winding toward us. I stood, clutching Mason's hand. He looked at me, eyes wide. "They're coming back," he said, voice wavering between hope and fear. I forced a calm I didn't own. "Maybe," I said. As the truck slowed, dust swirling, a woman leaned out. She was older, faded denim shirt, silver hair escaping her cap. "You two need help?" Her voice was soft but carried across the gravel. I swallowed the lie rising in my throat. My car had broken down just ahead. I managed, voice brittle. She didn't ask more. She eased to a stop, opened the passenger door. "Come on," she urged. "Not safe out here." Inside, the cab smelled like coffee grounds and oil. She handed me water before I could speak. "Name's Lena," she said, voice gentle. She checked Mason's sneakers, then mine, nodding. "Looks like you've been walking a while." I averted my eyes. Lena didn't pry. She just drove. The engine's hum was a lullaby. Mason curled against me, exhaustion finally claiming him. By the time we reached her property, the midday sun burned bright. A small trailer sat behind a workshop with oil stains on the door. Lena led us to a cot covered in quilts. She brought sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly, Mason's favorite. He ate in 2 bites. I watched, tears pricking. Over the next few days, Lena offered bottled water, granola bars, and quiet company. She shared her own story, kicked out by her family when she returned pregnant at 18. "I learned to stand on my own," she said. I listened, the words igniting something I thought long dead: resolve. On day 3, she gave me work, cleaning tools in her workshop, organizing parts. Each task was simple, repetitive, and healing. My hands remembered muscles I'd buried under fear. Lena paid me in cash and respect. "You're stronger than you know," she told me as I scrubbed grease off a wrench. Night came, and with it memories of my parents' final words. "Leeches learn to crawl." I no longer heard them as blame. I heard them as a challenge. I watched Mason sleep under the quilt, breathing steady and warm. I ran a hand over his hair and vowed we would not crawl. We would rise. I drafted a plan. Legal name change, new phone number, no forwarding address. Lena said nothing, just nodded. Her quiet confidence fueled me. I would erase their power to hurt me. I would remake our lives on my own terms. Wounds heal, but scars remain. A map of battles survived. I spent the next 2 weeks rebuilding. Each morning, I woke up with purpose. Lena's workshop became my classroom. I learned to rotate tires, change oil filters, even diagnose engine trouble. The smell of motor oil no longer repulsed me. It felt like a possibility. For Mason, I found a small school bus pass, letting him join kids his age for afternoon classes. The first day, he ran off laughing. Seeing him free renewed my strength. In the evenings, I sat by the trailer's porch light, filling out forms, driver's license, social security, bank account applications, all under my new name. Lena guided me through each step. When I filed the petition, the clerk looked surprised. "All set?" he asked. I nodded, voice steady. "Completely new life," I said. Back in the trailer, I opened the family group chat on my old phone, Mom's latest message shimmering in unread. "You drama queen, can't let us have one weekend?" My fingers hovered over delete. I pictured that desert shoulder, Mason clutching my hand in the dark. I pictured our faces in that dying moonlight. I would not let their words pierce me again. I tapped remove chat. Closing my eyes, I felt a shift, like a weight lifting from my chest. I had erased their power. I had reclaimed myself. I stood on the porch and looked at the desert stretching beyond the workshop lights. That night felt cold and empty, but it was mine. A month later, I had 3 part-time jobs: evenings at Lena's shop, mornings stocking shelves at the local grocery, and writing ghost articles for a parenting blog. My days were full, but they were mine. Each dollar earned whispered, "You matter." Then late one night, an envelope arrived addressed to my former name. My hands trembled as I tore it open. Inside, in shaky cursive, Mason's writing: "Dear Grandma and Grandpa, I love Mommy. I wish you could see her smile. If you say sorry, maybe we can visit. Love, Mason." He drew 3 stick figures under a heart. Tears welled, but I didn't weep. Instead, I folded the letter, staring at the scrawl that bridged 2 worlds. I decided to take one last road, one final reckoning. Mason stayed with Lena's neighbor, a friend who lived nearby. He waved as I backed out of the driveway. "Be brave, Mommy," he called. My heart clenched. I promised I would. Their house looked the same: trimmed hedges, the family first plaque on the porch. I parked down the street, heart hammering. I rehearsed my words in the rear view. I stepped up the walkway. The door opened before I could knock. Mom opened the door. Her face paled. The phone slipped from her hand. Dad hovered behind her, tube socks peeking from loafers. I held her gaze. "I came to return what belongs with us," I said. From my bag, I removed 3 envelopes: birth certificate, notarized renunciation of inheritance, and a letter declaring our permanent independence. I laid them at her feet. Mom's lips trembled. Dad first tummy clapped he needed. Then I slid open the battered keepsake box.